gamer right now. Let's start this. All right, CAD 3 video. This is the everything's changed. The smile, like I'm not happy about it, so I apologize, guys. I just ran out of time. So, wanted you to see me tell you that. That's why my picture is in the corner, like like I know what I'm doing, and I want to jump to what I'm going to ask you to do. I think is actually way better than what I was going to ask you to do. You may not feel the same, but I promise if you were to do them both, this one is better. But it's a little bit like throwing you, like, I don't know. There's no video walkthrough, I guess. So with that said, I just checked. Let me close a little bit, close a little bit, close a little bit. These can go. I don't need that one. Turns out this is still up and running. So I get a sub in. Go ahead. I don't care. Is it going to mess us up? Yep. Oh, for sure. But we've got the access to it right now, and the problem is I don't know how long we have access to it. It looks like you can still use it. I'm just going to go create a new document right now. Call it no biggie. And then I can just like make stuff. Just like you guys know how. Pretty sure. I just want to double check. I didn't fully check everything, but yeah, you've got full functionality for sure. So, and I always told students in SolidWorks who were like, wanted to tell me that Onshape sucked. They didn't like moving over to it. That Onshape was better in many ways. And I will continue to say that SolidWorks definitely has its advantages, but Onshape is better, especially for a class, especially if you're doing group work, which you guys do. Anyway, so what you're going to do for the next few days, or the next 5 days, you're going to do a midterm, but it won't be your real midterm. If you take it seriously enough, I will treat it as such, and I will give it to you as your midterm, and I will give you the grade you deserve if you take it seriously. If not, I mean, just do it. It's actually fun. You're typically this midterm that I'm going to give you, and I'm going to give you your options. Which one do you want to pick? Typically was done in the past. One of them was done in 4 hours. The other two were done in 6 hours, and I think one was done in 10 hours or 8 hours. So it's like a full week-long project. You guys are going to do that, but you're going to get Onshape, and instead of doing it by yourself, you're going to do it with a partner. No more than one partner. If you feel like you want to try it on your own, like if you choose to design the Christmas tree stand, then you should, I don't know, you could do it on your own. Don't have to, but the Christmas tree stand would be one that's doable by yourself. All of them are doable by yourself. It's probably just the one that's like Christmas tree stand with 2 people stuff. Anyway, so what are the options for projects? How is this going to work? Well, first let me show you a simulation of the midterm, or what used to be. I'm going to get rid of my face now because once I move this hover cam, it's moved. So let me pause the video. I'm going to refocus it on an example of an old student project, and then we'll just go through that. So this is an example, 2017, this was a midterm, and the midterm was to design a welding cart. So for the welding cart, students were asked to give 2 objectives, primary objective and secondary objective. My examples were, it should be built out of materials found in the shop made to hold one of our 5 welders. It should hold certain accessories, and it should have effective storage solutions. I'm sorry, that's not the example. That is information that I said I would give. So then secondary objectives you have to come up with, or the students had to come up with. So what we're going to do is This is option 1, is a welding cart. You design it, come up with objectives of what do you want it to be able to do, and or limitations. You got to come up with like some limitations, specifications, criteria. Do some research, find out what is good, bad, what do you need a good design to have when thinking about making a welding cart. It says find several benchmarks or research, make note of sizes or features, and print a few of the pictures. So again, this is the midterm. Used to be, when I would give it as a midterm, it'd be for a single student. It was definitely difficult. You guys break this up in groups between each other, and you choose the project you want, and it won't be that difficult. Either way, you got to look at it like this. You're in here for 5 days without me helping you get work done. My goal was to hopefully get you to do better at SolidWorks. I'm sorry, I ran out of time. My goal with this is, if somebody does pick welding cart, we're making it. Like, just straight up making it. And there's one other one I think in here that potentially we need to make in the shop. Anyway, let's keep going. Then it goes into benchmarks. So find some of these, make notes of sizes or features, print some pictures of other ones that you've seen. All right, we'll get to that in a second. You got to make a sketch. So give me a sketch. If one of you wants to do a hand sketch while the other one wants to do one of the other things, that's totally fine. You can do it as isometric or front, top, right side. It's just got to convey your kind of ideas, plans. Doesn't need to be to scale. This one says due to time. I'm going to say it doesn't need to be scale again because, I'm throwing this at you as a curveball. And again, apologize. I'm not going to grade this like I would a midterm. I'm going to grade this based on, did you do something while I was gone? Okay, then let's leave it at that. And then you got to do some CAD work. You got to show solid model, parts, assembly, and drawings. Basically, you want to kick me out a set of prints in 10 hours or so here. And to be honest, to make a welding cart in Onshape, you guys can absolutely do that, especially in a group of 2, just crushing drawings and tubing. You would have no problem with that. Okay, when you're ready to turn it in, this says submit, email me your SolidWorks. I mean, you guys, if you do it in Onshape or SolidWorks, doesn't matter. Don't email anything to me. Just end up printing whatever you want to turn in at the end when I get back. So this person ended up getting a 98 on the midterm. They got 2 things wrong, 2 points off just in their design, and I think I might have a note in there, but either way, first page is just a blank sheet of paper restating objectives. So submittal A is the primary objectives, which I gave. B, that person came up with. So they wanted gas tank to be secured for your welding gas. It needs to be supportive, or it needed to support itself with good balance. They wanted it to hold all 3 cords, the ground, the power, and the gun, and that they wanted there to be room for spare tips, wire, pair of snips, wire brush, so storage. Then they went on to, just trying to put it on the page. So part C, benchmarks, this is still part B, limitations, things to consider. So give me a list of those. You can just pause the video if you want to see that more. Student then gave me their research. So in the research, they talked about some of the things they found, different things that were taking up like sizes and what was important, not important when they're designing it. And again, pause the video anytime you want. So that's part C. This is part C continued. Just grabbed some images, made some notes about what they liked, didn't like. Same thing down here. And have some some letters to go with, like what were they talking about in those different notes. So that's, I mean, that's, this research portion is really what got this kid that 98. And it's just like conveying to me what is on your mind visually, or in a way that I can easily read. And as you can see, it's just copy paste a couple pictures from the internet and put their own thoughts down. You guys did a little bit of that maybe in CAD 2. Those of you who had CAD 3 before, you've done some. This is continued into their sketch. So this is the sketch I got from this student. A couple of overall dimensions, and some minor dimensions too. Nothing to scale. There's definitely this whole right side view is no straight edge, but they did when they started, and then I think they realized they're running out of time. So hey, whatever. I can read and understand it. And this one was, hey, given the time that I had them crunching in, I understand. And then, so we went through up to here. We covered up to C, benchmarks, completing a sketch. Then CAD work is E and F, which is just drawings and assembly drawings, explaining the cart. So you see some of my notes on here now, but person did balloon callouts, isometric view with bill of materials, followed by, we got the part numbers and stuff, followed by a weldment page showing the cart in multiple views with all the parts, a couple of overall dimensions, and then the following pages are part breakdowns. And so it just keeps going. I'm just going to flip through them so you can just see all the parts, and then you can again pause the video anytime you would want to. Try to make this fast. We got angle iron. I think this cart was made of angle iron and a lot of plasma cutting. No, not a lot of plasma cutting. Tubing and a little bit of plasma cutting, plate and stuff. Alright, so that's it. So I definitely would expect that kind of quality if there's two of you working in a group. Sorry, that's probably really loud. But let me just, what I said before, this is not a midterm. I'm not going to grade this like a midterm unless you like blow it out of the park and you just deserve that grade boost. Then I will give you a midterm grade. So it will be an A. If you deserve it, you will get an A, and you'll get a midterm A. So go ahead and take advantage of what I just said, if you can. Now let me bust back. Let me jump back. Hold on. Okay, so much stuff going on. The screen with different pieces of equipment. I hate technology. Although I like it. I want to show you some of the options. So I will share these with you, but I'll just quickly mention them in the video, and then they'll be in your I need to bring over my drive. Nope, not that. Midterms, so sorry. Alright, so these are old midterms. So in 1617, is that the one I just showed? No, that was a Christmas tree stand in 1617. So I will share this document with you. So another option is to design a Christmas tree stand that's going to hold a real Christmas tree. Another option, and I'm just using ones I've done before. I don't have time to come up with a new one, but some of them are kind of cool. I think this is the one I just showed you. We got welding cart in 2017. 2018's project was this one's interesting, a wood stove rolling rack. I could not come up with another name for this. What that to me meant was when we design these wood stoves, we have a lot of welding to do, and it would be just peachy if we could like roll the wood stove on maybe something like this, like on an engine mount cart. Um, so if someone can design that thing, again, we'll build it, um, because it needs to be built. Uh, the Also, I need to talk with you guys. This big sidebar, and never mind. I'll talk with you when I get back. I'm thinking about just reconfiguring how we do CAD 3 and all my CAD classes as a whole. But that's a topic for us to discuss at we'll do a mites meeting when I return. And yeah, last option is safety equipment hanger. So this is one that we did have a pretty good idea when this was done in 2019, 2020, but it didn't get made, and now those plans are gone. So the idea for this is it is a something to hold all of our safety equipment, the ones that are kind of like that every student can get. So eyeglasses, the earmuffs, or the ones that you wear around your head, the big white ear muff, safety muffs. Yeah, that ear protection. They're not ear plugs, so I guess they're ear muffs. So can you create something to keep those items just at the desk? I didn't want it hanging on the wall because I'm already hanging the headphones on the wall, or sometimes we do. But the middle desks don't have wall hangers. So can you come up with a way to store either under the desk or over the desk, but out of the way, those items that everybody needs when they go in the shop? So safety glasses and so eye protection and hearing protection were the primary things to store. And then what kind of a little bracket or weldment could you make easily and repeatedly, because we need potentially 12 of them for 12 different desks, or 24 for 24 different stations. I think that's it. So you've got 4 options: a wood stove rolling rack, a safety equipment hanger, the welding cart, and the Christmas tree stand. I'll add one, but I don't have the thing ready, so I would ask you to go out of your way to come up with primary objectives as well. I can just talk about it for a minute, but the one that I would add would be an articulating vise. So what that means is a vise that I could have attached to the table that would also be able to fold away easily. So maybe it's under the table out there in the shop, or just out of the way, and then you maybe unlatch something, pull the vise up, and then have it latch into place or snap or lock into place. Should be quick, easy. I wouldn't want to have to get wrenches out or something to secure it. I already have vices that I can do that with, but you'd almost want it mounted maybe on like a plate and have like an arm, or be able to rotate on off the table. So you would be designing some sort of a system to maybe mount a vise to, and then have that system also mounted back to the table. And it'd have to be strong enough that we could bang against the vise, reef on things that are inside the vise, and then, and really work at it. So I apologize, you're just listening to me talk and not seeing anything. But I think that's my thought process. This is going to look funny. It's crooked. Anyway, that's the idea that I have. So articulating vise, or easily removable, drop out of the way, store under the table, some kind of quick hideaway vise, Christmas tree stand, welding cart, the vise. There's 3. Then the, where are they again? Anyway, they're getting shared with you. Equipment hanger and rolling rack, wood stove rolling rack. Please don't hate me. I apologize, guys. I just ran out of time. I'm trying to make different ones. Or trying to make the walkthrough. As an alternative, I guess I could also post the Geneva cam, and you could totally remake it, but you'd have to also prove to me that you totally remade it and didn't just copy your Geneva cam from your Onshape files. So I thought about that, and I decided, never mind, I'm just not going to even deal with that. So depending on what you guys come up with for designs, please work with a partner if you want to. If you choose not to, just this is what you're doing for the next 5 days, coming up with a design, making a sketch, listing out why it should work the way it should, and then use the program that's easy to you. That's great. If you would like to use SolidWorks, I'm going to tell you, don't. Just jump right back to Onshape, because you need to be able to do some drawings, and we haven't spent enough time in SolidWorks on drawings. Unless you think you're comfortable with your design to just do some like basic level drawings, you know you're not going to need auxiliary view or section view, then go ahead. Alright, that's it. That was a long video, long intro, and I tend to do that when I'm on the stupid video thing, just like when it was COVID times. I'm out. Enjoy, and look to Classroom for more information. Bye, guys.